Welcome to the OP12 R Shanks deck breakdown, where we're going to be going over the leader, cards in the deck, starting hands, tech options, the curve of the deck, and we're going to be taking a look at his matchup statistics, and then we're going to cap it off with some gameplay to see the deck in action. And if that is something you're excited about, just stay tuned after a word from our sponsors, who are really cool, so please.
Kaizoku.
This video is brought to you by Nengarden. To celebrate their 1-year anniversary, they're thanking fans with a huge sale. Plus, you can use code Kaizoku at checkout for an extra 5% off your order. This video is brought to you by Adakai TCG. Shop the latest in premium holographic textured custom One Piece cards. Designed for collectors, crafted to stand out. Use code Kaizoku for 15% off your next order. This video is sponsored by Gungam.gg. See Western OP11 list and Eastern OP12 list on Gungam.gg. Updated daily. Be the first to see decks for new leaders as they emerge. With over 1,000 deck lists per set, Gumgum.gg has all the top strategies as soon as they drop. This video is sponsored by Card Market, Europe's largest online marketplace for trading card games. Alright, so Shanks from OP09 was like top dog back in the day once re-released. Even though it's OP10, did kind of get knocked down a few pegs in OP11 once Blue Purple Luffy was released. Shanks almost fell into obscurity, but thanks to Blue Purple Luffy getting that nerf, being able to not run 8 cost Katakuri or 9 cost Big Mom, that deck is not as ubiquitously ever present in the meta anymore. So Shanks does actually get back some of the meta share that he had before, right? You could even consider him like a top 5 leader now. Shanks is back. So yeah, if you were a Shanks main and you stayed committed to the deck, you've been rewarded handsomely here, I would say. And right off the bat, let's just take a look at the price of the deck. We'll do things in a different order this time. So Shanks, his deck, $180 for this version that you see on screen here. Not too expensive at all, not too shabby, right? It's quite affordable for a top meta deck, I would say. And yeah, each of these shopping cart links on screen take you to the TCG player page for the cheapest version of each card. And then for your convenience, if you wanted to just copy the entire deck to your clipboard into your shopping cart, that's what this match entry button here does, this green one here. You click that, it copies the entire thing to your clipboard. You Control V, add to your cart on TCG player. It's one click, you have the entire deck in your cart. Made it easy for you, and both of these methods go through my affiliate link. So if you guys wanted to support me in the most passive way possible but still help me out, this would be much appreciated. And then I'm working on adding alt arts to my deck builder too. Everything in this video is made by me, by the way, so just FYI. But yeah, this Shanks deck, since I haven't done a Shanks deck breakdown in a while, there are a couple new cards I thought I might as well, like, perfect time to do one, right? So let's just jump right into the deck. And we're gonna do things a little differently this time. I'm gonna streamline a lot of stuff so there's less like fluff. Hopefully you guys maybe like it or not, let me know. For OP01 Otama, it's just a 2k counter that can give minus 2k to something. This can combo well with a lot of our removal, because our removal is based on your opponent's power. But yeah, not interactable with anything else in the deck, right? It's not searchable. It's a card that you just have to hope you draw. For Uta from OP09, this is the 1-drop searcher. It searches for red hair pirates. Most of our deck is red hair pirates, so yeah, I think for a period of time people cut this card out, but I think the slots in the deck can afford to run the searcher again, and it's nice to guarantee the 4 cost Shanks on your second or third turn, depending on if you're going first or second, right? Because of that inclusion, which is a new inclusion from OP12, I think this Uta has a lot more merit now, just to guarantee like your consistency in your early game. For OP09 Hongo, so kind of like Otama but for 3, but you can reuse them, right? If you rest him, you can get minus 2k to something, and it's a searchable 2k counter in the deck. For OP10 2020 Chopper, so another 2k counter. This one's a blocker, 4 cost, and it's a 6k blocker on your opponent's turn, but on your turn it's a 4k, so it's 1 Dawn to make him an attacker if you really need to. 2 OP09 Lucky Roo, so it's a blocker, 5,000 power blocker, which can attack into your opponent pretty easily. But the nice thing is that if he dies and your leader is a red hair pirates type, which we are, you can KO to one of your opponent's characters with a base power of 6,000 or less. So yeah, you stop an attack and you take down something else with them. This is pretty relevant in the current metagame just because of like stuff like Cavendish with 6k power, or even like your opponent, right? They'll have their own like 4 cost Shanks with 6,000 power. Now I do know it's original power, so even if you debuff something with your leader ability, it doesn't count. For OP12 Shanks, so yeah, this is the new guy that kind of is a pretty major buff to the deck. It's a 4 cost 6k blocker. Now on your opponent's turn, once returned, you can trash a card from your hand and give it to one of your opponent's leaders or characters minus 2,000 power. So it turns any brick in your deck into a 2k counter, almost kind of better than the 2k counter because the minus 2k persists. So this is especially relevant into Green Zoro, right? If you put it on their leader, even if they untap and attack again, that minus 2k stays. And yeah, this combined with your leader ability means you have access to like minus 3k for every turn. So that's a lot of power reduction, power mitigation, and this is an above average stated blocker too, 4 cost 6k. and searchable in the deck too. So yeah, it's a wonderful inclusion. 4 OP03 Marco, 5 cost 6k power. So on your turn on play, you can pop a 3k power or less character. And then if he dies, you can trash an event in your hand to bring him back from your discard as rested. We only run 4 events, so that's usually never the case, but we use them just for the KO. In this current metagame, there's a bunch of chump blockers. There's stuff like Koshiro, there's stuff like the Apu. A lot of the blue decks run small things that like to bounce back to hand, like the Kayas and stuff like that. So just having Marco being able to pop them is really great. You can combo this with the Otama to pop a 5k. Same with the Hongo, you can pop a 5k. So if you're going like first 3 Dawn turn, you can play Hongo. 5 Dawn turn, you can pop a 5k that way too. And yeah, it's just a nice attacker too, 6k stat line. 2 OP09 Yasop, 5 cost 6k power. On play, you can give one of your leaders plus 1000 power until the end of your opponent's next turn. So it makes yourself a 6k base. Combined with your leader ability, it can counter for 7k for 1 attack. And then downtime zone when attacking, give up to one of your opponent's characters minus 1000 power for the turn. So this is great at softening up some of your opponent's characters. This combos really well into the Ben Beckman on the next turn. If you're going second, that is. So on 6, you'll play Yasop, and then on 8, you'll put Dawn on Yasop, make something minus 1000 power. In this case, a lot of the cards that your opponent just played on their 5 Dawn turn would have been a like 5 cost 7k. So Yasop can debuff it to 6k, and then you play Ben Beckman to pop it, because that's Ben Beckman's KO threshold. 4 starter deck 23 Uta, 6 cost 4k power. It's a 2k counter, and then if you have a character with 10,000 power or more on the board, it gives minus 4 cost in your hand, so it's a 2 cost blocker. We run 16 2k counters in this deck just because we have to be super defensive in this very Zoro meta. Yeah, this is just a very nice cheap blocker you can fit in for 2 Dawn. We do play quite a bit number of characters that have 10,000 power or would be easy to make into 10,000 power, right? If you put Dawn onto something, it just counts the current power for that minus 4 cost. For OP09 Ben Beckman, 7 cost 7k power, one of the best cards for the Shanks deck in general, because well, in most red decks, if you can afford to run removal, Ben Beckman's the card of choice. So on play, you can trash one of your opponent's characters with the power of 6,000 or less. So trash bypasses on KO effects, it just makes them go directly to the trash. Also, if they're like immune to KO, this works around that too. And yeah, as we mentioned before, combined with the Yasop, this can kill a 7k. Combined with Otama, this kills an 8k, and then same with the Hongo. And also a 1k counter too, by the way. Pretty insane. For OP08 Silver's Rally, 8 cost 8k power. On place, select up to 2 of your opponent's characters and give one of them minus 3k power and the other one minus 2k power. And then this lasts until the end of your opponent's next turn, and then you can KO up to one of them or anything on board that has 3000 power or less. So yeah, it's a lot of disjointed effects that you can apply in every permutation that is optimal for the board state, right? That's why it's such a good card. You don't have to kill the thing that you debuffed, so you can just kind of make it fit the way that you want it, basically, right? You're setting up with this card. And yeah, it basically lets you KO a 6k, right? If you give a 6k minus 3k, then you can pop it afterwards. Again, this also combos with the Otamas, the Yasop, and the Hongos and stuff before it. And yeah, it's just a nice 8k body for 2 Dawn. Attached onto him, you can play that blocker Uta out for 2 Dawn. And also kind of makes it harder for your opponent to attack back into you, right? As we mentioned, that minus 3k, minus 2k persists. This is on top of your opponent's minus 1k, and then the 4 cost Shanks is minus 2k, so it makes it really hard for your opponent to attack back into you, even if you don't KO anything. But yeah, it also softens things up for you to attack into, right? You don't always have to KO something. If they have a 7k character, you give it minus 3k, it becomes a 4k, you can attack 6k into it. Most likely it'll die. For OP06 Shanks, 10 cost 12k power. On play, you can just straight up KO a character with 10,000 power or less. This is especially relevant in this meta because of stuff like the 8 cost Mihawk. Now that Blue Purple Luffy doesn't heal, you can actually kinda race him, right? You kill one of their bodies. Hopefully he didn't play a bunch of Shanks into something else, because I think we actually still lose to Blue Purple Luffy despite that. But yeah, this is just a great equalizer, especially into decks like Enel 2 and like the yellow decks like Yellow Kid and Bonney too. This is a great card against Bonney. It's just the fact that most of the decks these days just play one big guy, so you play your own one big guy that can kill their big guy and you're ahead. 2 OP9 Shanks, so this is just in case your opponent does play a go wide kind of deck. This Shanks is a 10 cost 12k power, and it gives all of your opponent's characters minus 1000 power. So the more spread out their power on board is, the more they get affected by this minus 1k, right? For every character they have. And then it also has Rush too, so you can attack on the turn that you play them. And lastly, we have 4 OP10 Divine Departure. It's an event card for 1 Dawn. Then if you pay 5 more Dawn on top of this, you can KO up to one of your opponent's characters with 8000 power or less. Or If you just want to use it for counter, for 1 Dawn, it can counter your leader only for 3k power, and it's searchable by the Uta. So yeah, that's the deck. 18 bricks, 16 1k, 16 2ks, just 4 events. Everything else is a character here. So we'll take a look at some tech options for the deck. So for tech options, I think these would be cards you could consider. So Dragon's a nice rush option if you don't need the Rayleigh for removal. Dragon swings for a pretty big number, right? You put 2 Dawn, rested Dawn onto a leader or character. So on your 8 Dawn turn, you play him out. You put 2 Dawn on leader, swing 7, and then Dragon swings 9 himself because he has rush too. What else? So this 9 cost Shanks, I would say back when blue purple Luffy was like super common in the meta, you're like most likely to face him. I think this was necessary because this allowed you to keep up with them. Because what it does is for 9 cost 10k, if your opponent has a character with 8,000 power, base power or more, this card in your hand gets minus 3 costs. So yeah, against all those ramp decks that play their big characters out early, the Shanks lets you also cheat out a big body for like almost 2 turns earlier just to keep up with them. And then on play, if your leader has a red hip hearts type or is Uta, you can make your leader a 7k base until the end of your opponent's next phase, end phase. So it's great for that, but I think in the current climate, we don't really need it, right? You'd rather be like controlling your opponent's board, debuffing stuff, and then killing it with KO effects. But that's only due to the meta. If ramp ever comes back, I would imagine this card would become more needed in your deck. And then Gum Gum Fire Fist Pistol Red Hawk from OP12 could be a interesting tech option. So it's a 2 Dawn event counter. And then you can give plus 4k to leader or character, and then you can kill out to one of your opponent's characters with a power of 4,000 or less. So we can actually combo with that pretty well in our deck. Not only can our leader give something minus 1k on your opponent's attack, that 4 cost blocker Shanks, this one here can give you an additional minus 2k. So that minus 3k can be interacted with this Red Hawk, right? If you give minus 3k to your opponent's 7k character, you can Red Hawk and then pop it basically for free. Well, not for free, but for 2 Dawn. But yeah, you're also defending yourself for 4k counter. And then on trigger 2, it can save your ass sometimes. Just giving minus 10k power when your opponent is trying to go for game, the only one attacker. It'll just outright stop an attack. I'll let you get back to your turn and probably kill them on the clapback. And then I want to show off a new feature. So there's like this detailed player stats page here on the match history, which is something that I coded. You can get access to it on the sim too. There's a button to it. But yeah, if you wanted to check out how your particular deck lists are performing, here you can check here. So let's say I want to look at my Shanks stats. It'll show your matchups that you had with Shanks and then the deck list specific matchups. So in this case, I only ran one deck list version of this deck, so all the stats kind of match here. But if you had multiple Shanks lists that you're trying out, you can track your performance with each one, see which one you like better, which one's doing better for you into certain matchups. I only have 12 games here played, so it's not too significant of a sample size, but for the people who play like super crazy religiously the same leader, because I have to kind of switch leaders a lot to maintain this YouTube channel, if you're like a one trick, I think this tool will really help you like get some insights on your performance with the deck, and maybe even help you find out like which tech choices and deck lists will do better for you. But yeah, that's there if you need it. So we'll move on to the matchups for Shanks. So here is Shanks's performance for the entirety of OP12 at the moment. So yeah, it's 54% win rate going second, 47 going first, so you do kind of want to go second if you can on average. Here are his good matchups, so get into decks like Bonney, Sakazuki, Yamato Enel, Lucci, but completely dies to decks like a blue purple Luffy, so this is still an issue, a glaring issue. 26% win rate. Bad into Teach too, because a lot of our effects, a lot of our on play effects get negated by Teach, and yeah, the way we interact with your opponent is through on plays, whether it be like your KO effects or your like power reduction, it's all locked out by Teach here. We also have a slightly losing matchup into Zoro, and for some reason we lose to Sanji too. I guess it's because we can't KO his 3-cost Sanjis, right? That makes complete sense. So they just keep growing bigger and bigger until they can attack you and you can't really kill them back. But yeah, against everything else in the meta though, it does pretty decently well, right? Good into Rayleigh, good into Green Purple, good into Kuzan, good into Smoker. And then down here in this section is Shanks' most kept cards in their starting hands, which is why I cut out the starting hand section, because this already kind of displays it. So you're going to want that Uta Searcher. That 4-cost Shanks is like your best early game stabilizer, and then Ben Beckman in a lot of matchups is really clutch. The best 2k you can keep early on is Hongo, and then Lucky Roo, if you can't find the 4-cost Shanks, is also a nice option. And then you want your late game kind of guaranteed, right? You want Rayleigh or either of your Shanks if you can find it. And then I also have this section here for the most common curve. So I cut out the curve section, the sample curve section in my previous deck breakdowns just to have it here. I wrote an algorithm that just displays it for you. So if you're going first, your most likely turn 1 play is going to be Uta, the Searcher, followed by Hongo, if you want to set it up for a KO effect on the future, like if you wanted to kill something with the Benbekman, that's nice to put on your 3-Dawn turn. On your 5-Dawn, you play Lucky Roo. On your 7, of course, Benbekman is the best choice here. On your 9, you play Rayleigh, and then on your 10, you play either of the Shanks. So it looks like the Rush Shanks is the most common one. And then going second, it's almost the same, a little different in the middle of the pack though. So Uta starts off the same, but then on your 4-Dawn turn, you play the Shanks for sure. And then 6, you can play Yasop. On 8, Rayleigh makes sense because you can just pop a 6k that way, but if you need to pop a 7k, then you would play Benbekman and combo with the Yasop instead. And then on your 10, you can play the KO Shanks, and then after that you're still at 10, so you can play every other Shanks in your deck. So that's going to be the Shanks deck breakdown for now. Let me know what you guys thought of the new format. I wanted to try like streamlining it and making it all quicker. So let me know if that is your preferred style, or if you prefer the way I had it before, where I kind of like made it fancy and separated everything into its own section. I could go back to doing it that way. I just figured since I coded everything and it's all on my website, it's just easier just to show it via there. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Any feedback would be appreciated. You can check out my other deck breakdowns for OP12 if this is the first one that you're watching, if you like my style. And then yeah, I guess we'll move on to the gameplay section. All right, we have Shanks versus Bonney. Kind of one of the reasons why Shanks is so relevant now. Bonney being one of the most popular decks in the meta, and Shanks being good into her. So we'll mulligan for a Searcher hand here. I'm not playing live, by the way. This is post-game, post-VOD review commentary here. So we're picking up a 2k here, but I'm gonna play, or I'm gonna commentate as if I'm playing IRL not IRL, in live real time, just because it helps me process the game better. So he plays Koshiro, the anti-KO mechanic there, just to get around some of my future KO. He knows what's up. That's kind of what my deck does. So I do believe I just go 5-5 here. Right, because if I play Hongo, on the next turn he plays like a, what's that guy's name? Uruj, and he'll have Dawn up. They can tap my Hongo before I can even use it. Because I can't use a KO effect until my 7 Dawn, which is 2 turns away. Oh no, yeah, 2 turns away. So by then, he'll be able to rest my Hongo and then he'll just die. So I opt for the 5-5 instead, and he takes both. Kind of makes me think he's going for like an 8-cost kid kind of playstyle if he's taking life so liberally here. Or if he's just bricked. That's wishful thinking. I hope he's just bricked. But yeah, that kind of indicates what kind of late game he's aiming for. So he does just swing 5 at my Uta. Honestly, I don't think Uta would ever become an attacker again after this point, but I guess he's scared of it. So does not play a 4-drop, so I'm just gonna swing first, so he does nothing to rest. Luckily, we evaded the Uruj, and then we're gonna play our 4-cost Shanks here. Because yeah, even if we played Lucky Roo to KO something, that Koshiro can save it, so no point. So let's see what he does against the 6. If he takes another, I'll be really happy. He counters that one. Okay, we'll play our 4-cost Shanks, our new Shining Star from OP12. So on his 6th Dawn turn, he's got to play something, right? A Cavendish? Okay, he plays X-Drake. I guess he's super bricked up. So he's going to swing 6 into my Shanks. I'm guessing. I can just leader ability. So 5 at my face, I just leader ability either way. Okay, he does have Dawn up for his leader ability. He must be really late game heavy in his hand. Okay, we'll swing 6 at leader. Oh, extra gives you a Dawn back, so he could have put Dawn on leader actually. But then yeah, I could have just leader ability and then block with the Shanks, so it didn't matter either way. So yeah, 6 with the blocker, he blocks with Koshiro, he taps my leader, so we'll Benbekman and kill the X-Drake here. Okay, now we're probably going to start seeing stuff, probably like a Mihawk. He's at 8. If he doesn't play Mihawk, anything else in his deck we can pop with the Rayleigh. And then after that, the 10-cost Shanks should handle anything he plays. So yeah, really good position for us here. A little bit lucky that he had a pretty horrible start. Well, not too horrible. I guess he just kind of missed his 6th Dawn. But yeah, he has the Cavendish into Smoker here. Huh. Did he just get the Smoker, or was he saving it? I guess if he did play Smoker, I could have Divine Departured it the turn prior if I had it. Okay, and then he has Dawn up for leader ability. So let's see how we do this. So I ought to swing with Benbekman and then let him rest my blocker. I can kill Cavendish, which I think is a higher priority target here. I don't mind if he banishes me. Or hell, I can even like minus 3k the smoker with my leader and the blocker Shanks. So he takes a 7. That makes me think he's super bricked. Do 6 FAs. I wonder what kind of late game onslaught he's gonna throw at me. Okay, we'll kill Cavendish here. Cardi, don't you know what happened in this game? Yeah, I forgot, okay? Okay, so 10 Dawn. That's where the scary stuff happens. If he has like a 10 cost Flamingo, that would get me really good here. Okay, plays another Cavendish. So he's got a Carrot. Okay, super mid game. I think it's too late to develop your mid game against me now. But can freeze my Ben Beckman here, and he does. Dawn Leader to attack. He can put 2 Dawn because he still has the Smoker Dawn, right? Unless I missed him untapping. And then he has 5k with the Smoker to attack with Banish. 2, maybe 6/6 would be good. Okay, if he goes all in with the... Oh, maybe he's not going to leave any Dawn up. Nope, 6/6 is the way he's going to do this. So we'll just discard Blocker to give minus 2k. And then if Leader attacks, you just give him minus 1k because that's the only other attack left for the turn. Let's see what he does. Put Dawn and attack for 5. I might just take it. Because that's a card that won't get banished if I take it. Yeah, we'll take this 5. Okay, so this is not a good board to 10 cost Shanks. It would be a good board to Rayleigh. Oh, I do have another Rayleigh. Hey, good job, me. Part of the cards. So we'll kill Cavendish again. And then Smoker's a 5, so we'll throw 8 at it. The leader ability, my blocker, and I can throw another 7 at the Smoker. Ooh, they counter for the smoke. We'll throw 7. Smoke die. But yeah, that Carrot's annoying. Can keep freezing my Ben Beckman. 10 cost Doflamingo would be bad, but at least we won't have leader ability. Okay, swinging 6 at my face, so I cannot leader ability. Probably need more than leader ability, which I might still do. And then discard a Marco here to counter for 1. And I still have minus 2k with the blocker. Did he play a Hody? It might have been a Hody. Okay, it was a Hody. I don't know why suddenly the memories came rushing back. Okay, so Hody gives him some options to clear the board here. There's a Koshiro blocker too. Okay. So that means my board is safe. He tries to kill my blocker. I will. Minus 2k and then counter 1. I ought to, at least. Oh, I think I skipped past the phase to use the ability. So I have to counter 3 out of hand. Yeah, it trips me up. The dialogue in the sim. IRL, that's not going to happen, but in the sim, sometimes I proceed past the step where I can do something. We'll just swing 8 with the Rayleigh here. And he tapped my other Rayleigh, and my Ben Beckman's still rested. So he goes to 0. We'll swing with the blocker. And then I think the best thing I can do here is just kill the Hody with my Shanks, the 10 cost. Hopefully he's out of counter, so he has to block with the Koshiro. 2 1Ks. Okay, good sign, good sign. Another 5. No more counter in hand. He blocks. Okay, we'll pop the Hody and then pass, and I think we should have game here. And we did. Yeah, a 2k that he just drew. Yeah, we have Shanks versus Yellow Kid. Might I say, Piss Kid? Okay, so double Uta start is pretty good. Okay, they play a poop. A poop and a piss. So Uta, we can only take maybe Divine Departure. No, we'll take a Shanks, and then Uta define 4-drop, 4-drop, 4-drop. Nope, we'll take the 10 cost Shanks. That's all we can take. And then next turn we just play the blocker Shanks. We already have it in hand, so we don't really, I guess we didn't really need it. Okay, 8 at us, we'll take that. So I think both Shanks are good in this matchup. The KO Shanks can pop their Law or their 8 cost Kid, and then the other Shanks can rush into them. Do 5 out leader and play out the blocker. He takes a 5, blocker out, pass. Okay, 6 at us, we just leader ability and then block. Then he'll probably play a Basil Hawkins. which I can dispatch with the Bembekman and not get the on KO, but I think it's too good not to attack with Yasop here for 6. And then if he uses the Hawkins here, I can attack 7 with my blocker. Counters 2. Okay, I guess we'll just pass then. Oh, I could have played Uta. Oops. Oops, oops, oops. Okay, so Kuma heals him. It's okay. Uta is our 1k counter. I didn't want him to use the Hawkins as a blocker, that's why. So Kuma heals, lets him use the Hawkins as a blocker again. 6 at us, we'll just do the same thing we did. Leader ability block. Okay, so I can kill the Kuma with the Beckman, so he can't heal. I think preventing him from healing is better than preventing us from losing a life. So we will swing 7 Yasop minus 1k to Kuma. He'll block with the Hawkins. I'll get rid of both things on the board here. So I lose a life. Then we'll kill the Kuma. He doesn't heal. 5 at leader. And I think I will attack with my blocker now, since he has nothing on board. Okay, we give him a X Drake 6 at face. We'll give him a 7 law here. He'll play it out. I want him to, so I can just pop it with Shanks right away. There it is. He's got 8k, maybe at our blocker. Potentially, you know. 8 at Yasop. Okay, I will defend him. We'll discard Rayleigh to give minus 2k to leader. He's gonna make a blocker. Yep. Ooh, another 7 law. Okay, we'll just pop him, give him the other 7 law. Maybe he counters, because okay, he took that one. I have a lot more bigger attacks for the turn after. Maybe he's out of counter. It counters 2. Another 6. Another counter. Okay, 7 Beckman. He probably blocks this one. Nope, he took. We'll pass. Okay, so 7 law and then 9k on leader. Probably at my Yasop again, maybe. 8k. Okay, I can just do the same thing. Minus 1. Then we'll trash Beckman minus 2. Okay, he gets an 8 cost kid. With Divine Departure, I can actually use Yasop to make Law able to be KO'd. Maybe that better. So throw a 7. If he doesn't block, he'll get no use out of that Law. Okay, block with the Apu, so we'll just pop the Law. Then I got 7, 7, 7, 12. Here's a 7. He left a Dawn up, probably for a Red Hawk. 7. So we'll see, he's gonna Red Hawk our leader hit. Now the 12 he'll take going on 0. Oh, he went to 0 anyway. Okay, 12 for game. Yep. Oh, the Red Hawk was the last card he drew.
Hey. And I think this, I maybe, and you know what?
Alright, we have Shanks versus a Zoro. Slightly unfavored for us. And without the blocker, Shanks kind of harder, and we're going first too. So everything against us. Okay, plays Perona to find Kuina. It plays a Hiyori. We'll swing 7, and then we'll Divine Departure if we need to. Right, if he swings... Oh, you can swing 9. But if he uses a Hiyori Search, he has 8, so I can leader ability and then counter 3. Okay, Tashigi. He goes 8. Maybe I'll take. Yeah, I want some cards in hand. 5 at Hiyori, and then we'll play out... Oh, he countered 1k for some reason. Play Lucky Roo and pass. So that's a Kuina I don't have to worry about now. He had Tashigi anyway. So this kills... Yeah, I knew he had Tashigi. Why'd I play out Lucky Roo? So this kills. I will kill Perona. He has 9 at me. I cannot stop this. Okay, I guess we'll Divine Depart the Tashigi. That's why I saved it. We'll play Uta though, because we have the Dawn Despair. Okay, well, I guess we'll Divine Departure first and then Uta. Let's look for not a 2k. Dang it, we have to take the Shanks. 5 out leader. Okay, so he does counter with another Kuina. And he has a third Kuina. Okay, so this kills my Uta. At least no Mihawk. And 10 at my face. Dang, I wonder if he has a bunch of like restand events in hand that can just kill me. Plays Koshido. We will Rayleigh to kill Koshido and then kill the Kuina with our leader. Yep. And then 5 at the -2. Bye. Pass. Okay, 10 Dawn. Show me some Mihawk so I can pop it with my Shanks. 10 at my face. Okay, I will leader ability and then Divine Depart. And then I still need a 2k on top of that. Come on. He's gonna restand and do it again. Yup. 9 again. We'll take. Oh my god, we're gonna die to the restand event. What if I just play a bunch of blockers? Plays a Koshido out too. Okay, Marco to kill Koshido. 5 at. No, 6. 5. We could get a Divine Departure from life. He does counter that. Really 8. Shanks out. Pass. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have enough counter if he does go for like a double 12. He's going for double 12 at Rayleigh. Okay, I can give it -3 and then it's just 2k to save him. Counter 2. I guess he could attack it again. My face. Okay, we'll take that. And then he can restand and he can attack Rayleigh again or my face. Okay, we have to block. Huh. I will play 2 blockers for sure, so I guess 7. And then 6 for Marco. I should have done 6, 7. Oh, 6, 7! Counter 2. 8 at face. I don't get the joke, but I just want to seem relatable to the youth. Okay, so do I die to Dead Man's Game? On top of that, okay, Prona, I guess he's looking for it. That's one less Dawn I have to worry about. I have 4k counter plus leader plus blocker Shanks. Okay, found Dead Man's Game. He uses it. 10k I can defend. 10k I can defend. Oh, at my blocker. I let him die. I should debuff first. And then still let him die, right? Because I just need him to use the -2k ability before he dies. 7 my face, I counter 3. And then hopefully I have game here, so Lucky Roo 5. How did he still almost get me? What the heck? 7 he takes, and then all in on Rayleigh. Okay, we got it. Yeah, I don't think that one Kuina misplay would have changed the outcome of this game at all. Okay, Shanks versus Sakazuki. Sakazuki, this hand is not good. This hand, okay, at least I have a 2-down play. What you got? Cycle, okay. That's it. Me too, though. Okay, 3-down turn, what you got? Tashigi, brand new. Okay, cycles in Alma. 8 at my face, I will take that. Alright, I'm gonna be the first character player then. 5 at face. Counters with the 2k. Okay, we'll play Lucky Roo then. If he has to play like a Brook to KO it, I just KO the Brook with me. Oh, he had a Hound Blaze, but he discarded it. Yeah. If you go for a Brook play, he doesn't. 7. I guess we will leader ability, then counter 2. What you got for 3? Nothing. So he definitely didn't want to lose a Brook there. Or maybe he didn't have enough Dawn to combo anything, so we'll do 5 at leader. That would have been like leader ability plus a Sudo plus a Brook would have done it, but then yeah, I just killed the Brook. Yeah, he had a Sudo. 6 at face. And we'll play Uta. Let's get event. Then we'll play blocker Shanks, pass. This makes Marco an option. If he KOs it, I can just revive him one time. Only one time though. Okay, Rebecca into Hina. Yeah, he was saving the Brook. Oh, he needed more cards to combo with it. Or he's just trying not to kill my Lucky Roo there. Okay, 6 on my face. So he did Alma. Alma would have got around my Lucky Roo, but we'll just counter this one. Because I'm going to play Rayleigh. Rayleigh -3. Pop Rebecca. 5 at Hina. 5 at Lida. He's not going to touch my Lucky Roo. Oh, he can now that he has no characters on board. And enough Dawn to spare, I guess. Ooh, if you had Gecko Moria, it'd be pretty nice, wouldn't it? But you don't got that. No Gecko for you. I wonder how many of you started after Gecko Moria was banned? You guys don't know? You guys don't know what's up with them? Oh, he whipped on a Tashigi. 6 at our face. Let's take one. And then Jack to pop our Lucky Roo, and then we'll pop their Tashigi. Okay, so 10 cost Shanks here could just easily attack into Jack. But we'll do 5 at leader. If he takes this, maybe we have game. He took, okay. Do 8 at face. If he takes this, then 12k most likely is enough for us. And he got kind of bricked in hand. So 12k at face, no repercussions if this doesn't go through. We got it. Woohoo! Okay, bye.
Card D Kaizoku.
Da-da-dee, da-da-da-da-da.